Tidbits from TNT, Sunday morning, the 8th of December 2024. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. Al-Busi concludes his visit to Congress and meets with the Foreign Relations Committee. Friday, the head of the Progress Party, Mohammed al-Busi, concluded his visit to the U.S. Congress by meeting with Republican representative and member of the Foreign Relations Committee, Darrell Issa. The media office of the head of the Progress Party said in a statement received by Al-Urida that the meeting discussed the strategic partnership between Iraq and the United States of America and ways to develop it in a way that reflects positively on the two friendly peoples and joint cooperation in the fields of energy and gas investment. The meeting also discussed the situation in Gaza and Lebanon, efforts to stop the war and put it into practical implementation, as well as the recent developments in Syria, and the importance of containing this crisis and affirming the preservation of Syria's security and stability, according to the statement. Tishwash. Former minister rules out Trump imposing sanctions on Iraqi oil production and marketing. Former Minister of Electricity, Louis al-Khatib, ruled out U.S. President-elect Trump imposing sanctions on Iraqi oil production and marketing. Al-Khatib stated in a post on the X platform, which was followed by Urida, that Trump is a man of deals and will use his tools to redraw international relations in a manner consistent with his administration by controlling the movement of the dollar and imposing sanctions and central bank dealings on some institutions, individuals and even regimes that are unfriendly or difficult to deal with the United States. He may be stubborn or strict on the issue of granting exceptions to Iraq's import of Iranian gas and electricity exclusively to restrict the dollar's access to Tehran, but he will not pressure Iraq, as the second oil producer in OPEC, to limit its production to support global markets in order to push for price instability and rises, especially in light of the sanctions in force on major producers such as Iran, Russia and others. He expected, perhaps the Trump administration will support American energy companies in the fields of oil, gas, electricity and renewable energy to invest in producing countries, including Iraq, to create an alternative and restore trade balance with an active presence, but with work controls that do not contradict financial dealings between Iraq and the United States and the two countries' partners in the region. He stressed that Iraq must move wisely and quickly to deal with the Trump administration and work on a proactive plan to win over the elected administration before it takes power so that the country can avoid costly Moody scenarios that we faced during our ministerial period with great difficulty and succeeded at that time in containing them to pass exceptions on the gas and electricity files. Tishwash. Al-Nusayri calls on the media to be patriotic, transparent and supportive of the national economy. Economic and banking advisor Samir al-Nusayri called for economic media to be national, specialized, accurate, honest and transparent in diagnosing economic problems and imbalances, and to be a real and supportive contributor in proposing solutions and treatments to the supervisory and regulatory government bodies, and not to be a media that is satisfied with directing criticism and accusations without relying on accurate and transparent sources and information. Al-Nusayri pointed out that the economic analysis of those called analysts or experts should be realistic and committed to reaching accurate information from reliable sources, so that the government and its economic institutions can benefit from it for the purposes of diagnosis, treatment and accountability. Al-Nusayri warned against some non-economic media, or non-specialized media, that have recently promoted and analyzed incorrect news that is tainted with lack of credibility and fallacies in transmitting and analyzing the news according to specific visions, intentionally or unintentionally, that harm the course of economic, financial and banking reform, disrupt the movement of monetary and commodity trading in the local market, and hinder the efforts of the government and the central bank in achieving the goals set to achieve the desired reform steps. Stressing that the non-committed media contributes to adding another problem that affects the nerve of the Iraqi economy in addition to the challenges that the country and the region are currently suffering from, which is creating a state of economic instability and fluctuations in the exchange rate of the US dollar against the Iraqi dinar and the rise in the prices of basic and necessary goods and materials such as food and medicine. He pointed out that it is necessary here for media workers in all its fields and analysts who roam satellite channels and lack experience and intent to realize that specialized economic media has an important and fundamental role in creating economic stability and goes beyond that to contributing to economic reform and enabling and assisting the concerned state agencies and institutions to control economic problems and spread economic culture and avoid failure cases, because economic media must be national economic media in word and meaning. Al-Nusayri explained that media and economy are in a multifaceted and permanently related partnership, and they are on the same front to face the challenges they face together. And if we assume that the economy can create successful media, then it is certain that the media can also create a successful economy. And this is what results in the success of the media institution if it has specialized economic leaders who are aware of the role of national media. Iraq's experience in this field is considered modern, as the economy needs support and assistance in promotion, analysis, planning and support in order to deliver a distinguished media message to the audience, whether through the press, television, radio, or modern media and communication channels. Al-Nusayri concluded by saying, therefore, the economic media that can deliver a purposeful message and serve the economy and economic institutions is the one that attracts an important segment of society. It will remain and continue and achieve the strategic goals of supporting the national economy and developing the work of productive, financial and banking institutions. The economic media must undertake positive participation in the process of development and economic reform by presenting an image of the nature of the future trends of the economy and identifying economic and development activities and events and available energies and encouraging and stimulating the economy and investment. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.